r/ForeverAlone. Roy Ridley says, I wish people would stop giving false hope. So, what is the most common thing told to far? Get fit, go seek therapy, self-improvement, get hobbies and socialize, get a social network. Now this is not bad advice per se, all of it makes reasonable logical sense and they aren't bad things to seek in life. But are they prerequisites to finding a romantic partner? Hell to the no, the more I'm alive on this earth, currently 25 agonizing years, the more I meet and see people who are not these perfect monoliths that people who give us advice claim we have to be. I've met people who are well into the overweight category, have depression, are on the spectrum, don't have many hobbies, and don't even have too many friends, still have girlfriends. And I honestly do not understand how. I can guarantee you or many of us, can earnestly do all of these steps I've mentioned and never get anywhere with the opposite sex. Why? Good question. I don't know why. It's like that was the parameter input into the simulation for our character designations. I imagine it does have a lot to do with being less and more neurotic, but the more I think about all of this and reference it back to people I know do not have this issue, the less sense it makes. I'm an introvert nerd who likes a bunch of shit, but is not socially really capable of talking about them without being boring. That sounds pretty bad, no, I mean there is the obvious flaw there, right? Well, one of my best friends is exactly like me. And he is getting married soon, and has been in a relationship for 5+ years. When I asked him about his GF, he said when they met in a bookstore randomly he did a giant nerd rant about a manga, and she thought it was cute. So, in conclusion, none of this makes any sense. You either get born with the right parameters or you're a reincarnation of a past criminal living in agony because of their sins. Call Lee Free says, I just got that suggestion over at the Dating Over 40 sub about getting fit and stuff, and yeah, it's a good suggestion. A person should take care of their body, but with me, I was in reasonable good shape 13 years ago and that didn't do shit for me. So how would that help me now? Lol. Oh, you gotta be yourself and be humorous and confident. Well, of course I'm gonna be myself. Who else am I gonna be? James Bond. Confidence, had that. Being funny because supposedly women dig that, I had that too. I like to make people smile and laugh, but that didn't do shit for me either. So the only thing I could think of as to why I've been unsuccessful is my looks. I'm a short guy. Frontier Diggin says, half of it is luck, the other half is just meeting the other person's standards. If you're never lucky enough to meet the person who you meet the standards for, you'll never make it, and that chance is so slim with how little meaningful interaction people like us get. I've given up. Who do I actually have a chance to really meet and connect with outside of places like work? College might be an option for some people, it isn't for me. Hathead by a Nation says, I don't get it either, man. I mean, I guess it's mostly just luck and circumstance, and being perceived as likable somehow. Wood Earth says, I think I misunderstood the purpose of this sub. Is there a sub for being truly alone and lonely? No friends and family, much less a loved one. No meaningful social interactions outside of work. Justin Dawson Aim 15 says, your friend got lucky and found a white whale. If you're a nerd, getting fit and socializing will vastly increase your chances. If you don't, well, I hope you're damn lucky. Close bracket. Hobo Show says, the key is to keep rolling the dice. Those things increase your odds of either getting a dice roll or succeeding in one. Sad Albert says, a girl will not make you happy, man, they just won't. It will serve as validation at most. Half of you are not ready for what a relationship entails. Power Sister for Life says, I have a co-worker who actually listened to a 2-hour radio discussion on why mayonnaise is creamy, probably the dullest person on this or any other planet, and he's married. Danik2699 says, I'm an introvert nerd who likes a bunch of shit, but is not socially really capable of talking about them without being boring. That sounds pretty bad, no. I mean, there is the obvious flaw there, right? This is the answer right here. The reason your friend who's similar ended up with a GF is because he was able to confidently talk about the things he was interested in, manga in this case. I'm very similar to you from the looks of it, and I have a really hard time passionately talking about the things I like myself. r/ForeverAlone. Hated by a Nation says, anyone tried boxing or martial arts? I have been a total loser my entire life with zero confidence. Recently I've been getting a lot more serious about weightlifting and physical activities, mountain biking, kayaking, etc., which is great, since I used to be someone who hid in my house most of the time. I was just wondering if any FARs ever did this to boost their confidence. OKWeb4590 says, I never did boxing or martial arts, but I got into bodybuilding for a while, and it didn't really help me. I still go to the gym though. However, I seem to be the outlier, since everyone says getting in shape gives them amazing confidence. I had a six-pack the last time I used dating apps, and still got 0 matches, so my confidence is still nothing. But it does feel good day to day to be in shape. Ranger Beats says, I'd highly recommend boxing and combat sports in general to increase body coordination, mental discipline, goal setting and overall fitness. Plus I think it's healthy to be humbled on a semi-regular basis to keep your life and own abilities in perspective. It's much easier to remain calm in relatively trivial situations when you have put yourself through regular bouts of controlled highly physical stress. As far as social interaction, that can really only be improved through practice with interacting with people socially. Kind of like how you can only get good at fighting through training and sparring, in order to highlight your strengths and flaws, so you can lean into the former and improve the latter. The only way to get good at something is to do it. Sockscut98 says, I used to fence back in high school and college. I was never good at it, but it was a fun workout. I stopped going due to COVID and my studies picking up. I looked into rejoining the old club I used to go to, but it went under. Now I just hit the gym with a friend. Throwaway 1981X says, nope, no interest. Justin Dawson Aim 15 says, I did kickboxing / full contact for about 2 years. I highly recommend it. It is a very versatile sport and the one that taught me the most out of the ones I do, climbing / badminton / weightlifting / hiking. As far as confidence goes, I'd say it helps a lot. You learn to hit and get hit. You learn more about your limits, physically and mentally. You build enough strength and skill that you feel a bit more confident in your ability to protect yourself. You really get to respect your opponent at a level I've never met in other sports. The gym is full of banter, jokes, and camaraderie. If you're a only child and kinda sheltered like me, it helps to teach you locker room banter and male group dynamics. It's a very good way to complete weightlifting training. I stopped because I moved away from my last gym, but I'm considering joining a new one next year. r/ForeverAlone. Godslavo says, I would too if I were you. I just heard that from my friend and his girlfriend today in regards to suicide. For some context, I attempted suicide almost 2 weeks ago and basically everyone in my life found out. I thought I was growing numb to these sorts of comments, but this one hurt. I'm so ugly and disgusting that they felt they would rather die than end up like me. My friends always make fun of my looks and I basically grew numb to them over time, but this just made me feel sick. What did I do to be born this ugly and wrong? Vegetable Smile 9838 says, yeah, those are not your friends. Friends don't say shit like that, especially after knowing that you attempted suicide. Granite Smithy says, honestly, tell those people to go to hell. You're better off dying of thirst than drinking poison. They literally think that the best thing for you would be death. They aren't your friends, and I guarantee they don't care about you, so do not care about them. Piana Cookie says, WTF. I'm so sorry. Few Mathematician 968 says, frick those people. I don't know your situation obviously, but if you have any other way to socialize it probably would be better than those friends. I'd go some in random says, Jesus, that's frick Ed that they said that to you. I'm sorry man. Alternative Alpha Alpha 2 says, if you won't ever go over this miserable mindset you have to stay away from these friends. Really, they are just make you feel bad and unwanted. Is it really thing that you want to feel? Find real friends, it's hard, especially nowadays, but you'd better be alone than let them make fun of you. Go to new places, start new hobbies and find new people than stick with these dicks. What's actually make you think that you're so ugly? Do you have some interests or outdoor activities? Agianoni says, do something you like. Eat whatever, drink whatever you want. You will realize there are things you cherish in this world other than hatred and sadness. Travel for new experiences if it's possible. Deeth Denism says, spending more time alone is better than being with people who treat you unkindly. Removing those negative people in your life will be a necessary part of healing. Satya 369 says, if you have nothing to lose, use subliminals and change your life, appearance, etc. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.